Finally, Team USA has announced a roster for the Monsterenergy FIM Motocross of Nations event set for early October. Aaron Plessinger MxGP and Christian Craig Open will field 450F machines with RJ Hampshire MX2 on a 250F. This was no easy feat for the American Motorcyclist Association, as they had to deal with injuries Eli Tomac and conflicting dates Justin Cooper's wedding, as well as riders changing teams soon, and a bunch of moving parts that comes with riders coming and going to and from their respective teams. Still, the powers that be wanted to go, especially with the team running the 1, 2, and 3 plates as defending champions. And finally, the team has been announced. Plessinger has competed in the event before, 2018, but for Hampshire and Craig, this will be their debuts at the MXON event. The trio will head to France to defend the Chamberlain Trophy and the MXON event set to take place October 6, 7, and 8 in Ernie, France. The 2023 U.S. Motocross of Nations team includes AMA 450 competitor Aaron Plessinger, AMA 250 competitor RJ Hampshire, and AMA 450 competitor Christian Craig. After putting Team USA on the top step of the podium last year, we look forward to taking on the world once again in October as the defending champions, said AMA Director of Racing Mike Pelletier. We have a team that is enthusiastic to represent the United States, and I look forward to seeing what we accomplish this year. Team Captain Plessinger will be competing on the U.S. Motocross of Nations team for the second time and will race in the event's MxGP class. Team Captain Plessinger will be competing on the U.S. Motocross of Nations team for the second time and will race in the event's MxGP class. Craig will also represent the U.S. at Motocross of Nations for the first time and will compete in the Open class. Roger DeCoster will again manage the U.S. team as it competes for the World Championship. DeCoster, who heads up KTM, Gasca's, and Husqvarna's racing efforts in AMA Supercross and the Pro Motocross Series, took part in 6 victorious FIM Motocross of Nations teams in the 1960s and 70s, and is a 5-time motocross world champion. The FIM Motocross of Nations, which began in post-war Europe back in 1947, is one of the most high-profile motorsports events in the world. National teams from across the globe come together to compete for a combined score that determines the championship-winning country. The U.S. team continues to hold the record as the all-time leader in FIM Motocross of Nations overall team victories, having won the competition 23 times, 21 of them with DeCoster managing the team. The U.S. team last claimed a victory in 2022 and returns to competition as the defending champion. I honestly think this team has a great shot at making the podium, and while a victory seems a long shot, who knows? Stranger things have happened at the Nations, and this year's event has some really solid teams. Obviously, team manager Roger DeCoster has been left to pick the riders from the Austrian brands, and it seems many U.S. teams just don't want to be involved. Clearly something that is becoming more and more the case in recent years.